Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the ETBU Men's Basketball Coaches Show with ETBU head coach Bert West, our weekly little discussion about all things Tiger basketball. Coach, coming off of a tough one last night over at Centenary in Shreveport. Sometimes there's games where you don't play well and you lose, and there's other games where you may not play so bad and you still lose just because the other team is having one of those nights. And by all indications, last night just appeared to be one of those nights for Centenary, wasn't it?
But David, I know you didn't get to come to the game, and you're normally always there and have a pretty good read on what's happening. But I've never seen a game develop into a rival game any quicker than this one has, and that's a great thing. I sure hate losing them out of the conference. We were instant rivals. The distance, the names, the affiliations. It was a great scene last night. They had a great crowd. Oh, they were after us. The crowd was after us. Their team was after us. And the kids stood up pretty well. We made a few too many defensive mistakes the first half and a few too many offensive mistakes the second half. And while this was going on, Centenary was just threw out a tremendous effort against us. Played a great game. And it was a good lesson for us from the standpoint of anything can happen in any game. It does not matter what happened last time. Especially in rival games, every game stands alone. And as you know, I've been here long enough, and people get after each other, and it appears every East Division game is a rival game now. So that makes it a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to see how our team bounces back. It's like getting bucked off a horse. The quicker you can get back on, the better off you'll be. And the kids did okay last night, and probably would have won most games, but we've got to figure out ways to break people's rhythm when they're playing as well and shooting as well as Centenary was.
Well, they were shooting the ball well, hit 16 three-pointers last night, and of course their leading scorer did something that I don't remember ever being done, at least in my time here at East Texas Baptist, which he scored over 50 points, 51 last night. Max Nakwasa for them. And so, again, it was just one of those nights, and probably at some point was due. After you win 7 in a row, there's probably some things that maybe get covered up, especially at home, and when you go on the road, maybe you were just due to have somebody have a good night against you.
That could be so. I know that, again, every game stands alone, and it's very difficult for a young team to stay right in tune with what the coach is saying and what the coach is needing for them to keep advancing when they're winning. And it's just a little bit more difficult at that time. But again, I don't find as much fault with us as I do praise for Centenary in this particular case. But our guys, I'm really excited to see how we bounce back. The last time we faced adversity, we bounced back rather well. And we saw last night why only 3 times in the last 15 years have we won 7 in a row. Mm-hmm. It's just, you just got to be good and you got to be ready.
Well, before we move on to this week, let's take a real quick review of last week. Last time we talked, you were bunkered down and getting ready for Louisiana College and Mississippi College coming in here last week, closing out that 7-game homestand, and the Tigers came out guns blazing Thursday night and jumped on Louisiana College with a 20-2 run to start the game, and never really let them get off the floor after you kind of punched them there first, and then you followed up on Saturday with those tough Saturday games 48 hours later and had to grind one out against the Mississippi College team that came in here a little bit undermanned and a little bit desperate and just threw everything they had at you. And so 2 very different ball games. Going back to before the Centenary game last night, what was your impression of the way your team responded to those 2 challenges last week after we talked last week?
David, that's a great question. I'm very impressed with our team, and I think probably with our inexperience, we probably did about as well as we could do, and then probably followed it up with a good game that just wasn't good enough at Centenary. This will teach us to not be deceived. If we don't jump on LC and get a big advantage early, that game could have also gone the other way, and Mississippi game could have gone the other way. We arguably played better in the Louisiana College game than we did last night. You could argue that, and I couldn't argue against that. And we played with a desperate intensity against Mississippi that was totally necessary. And so, everybody on our schedule is just more than capable of beating us. And as long as we understand that and throw our best effort out there, then we'll always have a good chance to win. And like I said, I couldn't be more pleased with the team. And if they react coming off this loss and throw another great effort out, we'll have a good chance, in our next ball game.
Well, that next ball game, of course, comes up here in just a couple of days. Back into the American Southwest Conference play. Tigers jump on the road and make the short little trip over to Tyler and play UT Tyler. And again, we're using the word desperate a lot, but when you're kind of up above everybody in the standings a little bit, you're one game out of first place right now. You got a couple of teams chasing you. UT Tyler, one of those teams, especially playing at their place. And always, whenever we go over there, it's always just a very big challenge playing those guys.
We've never had an easy victory over there, I don't think, ever. And I don't expect one Thursday. We're just going over there with the mindset we're going to fight it out, and we're going to try to play well, and we're going to try to do whatever it takes to be victorious, and understanding they've got a tremendous mindset. And, sometimes people have a mental edge on you even when you don't let down. And I think, last night our mindset was fine. St. Mary's was better. And so you've got to just be focused and aggressive and stay after it and stay with your good team play. And I know that we got a great challenge Thursday at Tyler, and everybody understands how difficult that is. And then talk about rival game, then bounce back Saturday and go to Laterno, and they will pull out all stops. It's a very exciting time. If the Tigers could finally win on the road, could get 2 wins on the road this week, they would have to feel good about themselves.
Well, of course, again, the game on Thursday night at UT Tyler starts at 7:30 at the Harrington Patriot Center. The game on Saturday at Laterno will be at 3 p.m. Just across the way here over in Longview against the Yellow Jackets. Can't end today's show, Coach, without just making a mention of your senior, Jeremy Lagarde, being named the Player of the Week for last week. Arguably, you put the case up however you want to, may have had, at least offensively, his best 2 games since he's been here. With at least the numbers are saying that. Scoring 33, career high 33 in that win over Louisiana College, and then following that up with I thought was maybe he had to struggle a little bit to get what he had, but he kept grinding it out on Saturday in that win over Mississippi College, ended with 24 points, which matched his previous career high. How was Jeremy's development throughout the year, and then it kind of culminated a little bit with that honor that he received this week?
Well, I think, I think he had 23 last night, and he's had to play a lot of minutes. This homestand, at the end of the homestand, those 2 big games, I think he arguably played his best 2 games overall. And oftentimes when you have a big scoring night, it's not necessarily your best game. You just happen to score because he's very capable of scoring. But he's a willing passer. He's got his teammates involved. He's taking his responsibilities seriously. To lead, try to do things right. Be a good example for the younger players, and so I couldn't be more proud of Jeremy's development. He's doing a fine job for us.
Well, let's hope that continues team-wide on Thursday night. Coach, we'll meet back with you here next week and hopefully talk about a couple of road wins.
Well, I hope so. Thanks a lot, David. I hope to see you and Ringo there Thursday.